yards. There's a dramatic change to how defenses play. He creates space, and every offensive player, quarterbacks, running backs, other receivers, they like space to work in. What do you do as a defense? You try to condense space. Randy Moss gets on the football field, and everything opens up. He may not catch a lot of balls anymore, but he changes the face of every game he plays.
And the New England Patriots haven't lost a game since Moss left, but the offense has been slowly evolving to coverages that defenses have been playing them, because as a defensive player, you have Randy Moss. You play him differently. Safety over the top. You shift your coverage over to Randy, and that opens things up offensively for everyone else. So that's what the Patriots are still getting used to now, and that's what he was bringing to people like Percy Harvin and Visanthe Shanko. But Randy Moss, for him to play hard, what he needs is this. He needs a head coach that's a disciplinarian and a leader, and he needs leaders in the locker room. I think the Vikings have leaders in the locker room, but this is a head coach right here that wasn't ready for Randy Moss and didn't know what he was getting from Randy Moss.
Yeah, bottom line, what Reggie Bush brings to the Saints offense when he's on the field, Randy Moss does the same thing to everybody else when he's on a team, which, as we know, he currently is not at the moment. Lots more coming on this edition of NFL Live. We are just getting warmed up here. We have a huge AFC South showdown coming tonight. Peyton Manning and company trying to get back into the race against the Houston Texans, who absolutely spanked them week 1. Receiver issues in Minnesota, quarterback issues in D.C. Well, I'm sure that won't fester at all during the Redskins bye week. Plus, hey, a record was set in New Orleans. And oh, by the way, the Saints stood up to the Steelers, too.
Jacobs at 6'4", 264 is the biggest running back in the NFL. To find out how hard Brandon hits, I'm gonna let him plow me over at full force.
3, 2, 1, go!
Brandon ran over me with nearly 2,500 pounds of force. But when a defender moves right toward Brandon, the force is even greater.
Here's the hit. We have just this huge amount of acceleration that occurs all at once.
Brandon hit the dummy with over 4,000 pounds of force. That's like getting run over by a bull. For Sports Science on ESPN, I'm John Brinkus.
And I never got tired, so my dad started calling me AD for all day, and it stuck with me ever since.
I like that, AD, all day.
Yeah, so what's your nickname around here?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't really have a nickname, pretty much just call me Scott.
All day, what's up?
Same.
Hey, bedwetter.
Guys are always clowning, you know.
Bedwetter.
Told you that in confidence. Johnny, go ahead and get this fax out. All right.
Sports Center, weekdays at 0700 CET on ESPN America.
Is brought to you by Fidelity Investments, Turn Here, and Nike Basketball.
And we continue here on Primetime. Trey Wingo here with Trent Dilfer and Teddy Bruschi on what has been a wild Monday. And oh, by the way, there is a game of significance tonight to wrap it up as the Texans are in Indianapolis to take on the Colts. For the very latest on the Monday Night Football game, let's get the team reports, and let's start with the Colts and Michelle Tafoya. Michelle, the good news is Peyton Manning is going to play. The bad news is what receivers are going to play that he can throw to.
Yeah, at least they have 18 on the field, but the Colts are going to look very different, Trey. All-pro tight end Dallas Clark is out for the season. He's going to be replaced by a special teams standout, a guy named Jacob Tammy. Running back Joseph Adai, highly doubtful because of a shoulder. His backup, Donald Brown, also nursing a hamstring, so expect third stringer Mike Hart to get a number of carries. And then there's wide receiver Austin Collie out indefinitely. Now, you still have Reggie Wayne and Pierre Garçon, but you're going to have a lot of young guys in there playing. And Peyton Manning's big concern is, how do these young guys who haven't seen a football field in a long time hang on to the ball? Houston is physical. They like to hit. And Manning said, we need these young guys, Trey, to hold on to that football after they get hit.
Well, Michelle, that was a problem in an earlier game against Jacksonville with some of those backup tight ends. They had some opportunities in close to the red zone and in the end zone, and they were dropped. Listen, you can't replace Dallas Clark, Trent. He's a quarterback's best friend. They have an undefinable rhythm between the two of them. So where do they go? How do they make up for the loss of number 44?
Well, I don't think they can, first of all, because simply stated, everything the Colts do on offense is about predicating matchups. And then you show one look, and then Peyton Manning gets the best possible play. He doesn't waste plays. Well, the reason they're able to do that is because Dallas Clark and the hybrid type player that he is. He gets whatever look he wants because teams treat him as a receiver. Here's a 2 tight end look inside the tight red by the Colts, but they're facing only one linebacker on the field. This is stealing. Those nickelbacks don't understand gap support, fits, easy running. Once again, 2 tight ends, Clark in the slot. Look how soft the edges. Look how the safety now has to come in and fill late because they're soft on the edges with nickel players. And then what's that set up? Once again, nickel players, little play action, and you get the home run over the top. Not only is it Dallas Clark catching it, but look at the effect. Because they were able to run the ball versus dime defense of the Giants, they're soft on the edges. So what's the safety have to do? He has to abandon his back half, get up in the run game, vacate his pass responsibility, and give the Indianapolis Colts a freebie. Teddy, you know it better than anybody. When Dallas Clark's on the football field with another tight end, it's a crapshoot how you're going to handle him.
Yeah, always.
Power player or slot player?
Yeah, Trent always gave us trouble. Who are we going to put on him? A linebacker, Rodney Harrison? Was it going to be Vrabel or both of them? We always had problems dealing with Dallas Clark.
All right, so that's an issue that the Colts offense is going to have to work around. Now, Teddy, there's an issue that the Colts defense is going to have to work around because Arian Foster and the Texans week 1 absolutely went right at him and pounded him on the ground. Foster well over 200 yards in that game. What does the Colts run defense have to do? And it seems this is always a problem for him.
Yeah, they've had trouble this year defending the run, the Indianapolis Colts have. And there's a method to the madness, actually, because the saying is they play the run on the way to the quarterback. And you've got those ends on the outside in Mathis and Freeney. And sometimes it looks like they're spinning uncontrollably. But really, like I said, there's a method to the madness in defending the run because the linebackers really read off of what they do. Here you see Clint Session right here, and then the inside move down at the bottom, and Session flows outside because he knows Mathis has got that inside gap. He flows over the top. That's the way to do it right there. But watch Session right here. When Freeney takes the inside spin and he doesn't get outside, he doesn't use his speed, and the offensive tackle is able to occupy him. Big gain for the Kansas City Chiefs. Here it is. He's not rushing the quarterback, Freeney, is it? He's protecting his gap because he knows Session's supposed to be out there, and Brackett knows Session's supposed to be out there too. That's why he's so upset out there. You got my outside. That's what he's telling him right there. But when they work in conjunction, they can stop the run.
Yeah, they can. They just didn't week 1. And we're talking about the Indianapolis defense and the problems it has. Let's be clear. No defense has more problems right now than the Houston Texans, dead last in the league. And for a Texans team report, let's go back out to Indianapolis and Susie Colbert. Susie, the marriage of the Texans' worst defense and Peyton Manning at quarterback has to be a problem for the Houston coaching staff.
Yeah, not good. And let's just add to what you said. Not only last in total defense, last in pass defense, worst in the red zone. What happened was they decided to go with youth and inexperience in the secondary. Of course, most recently, they lost their heart and soul, middle linebacker, D'Amico Ryans. They've had trouble tackling and who knows what else. So it's time for a players-only defensive meeting called by defensive end Antonio Smith and Bernard Pollard, the strong safety. He said they felt like they were more like 0-6 than 4-2, but that Smith had instant credibility calling this meeting because he's been to a Super Bowl. He's also one of the best players on the team right now. His message was, you got to have your brothers back. If 2 guys are making mistakes, 9 guys have to be flying around to get there. And Brian Cushing summed it all up. He said, we're young, but we are talented, Trey. They say they're not panicking, that they have confidence.
Well, they have beaten this team once before. Susie, thanks so much. It should be a very interesting night in Indianapolis. It's turned into an interesting 48 hours for the Minnesota Vikings. We'll go over what led to what happened today when we come back.
ESPN America Moments.
Here's the pressure. Favre, jump ball, Moss. Got this one! The 500th career touchdown pass by Brett Favre. And it's the first Favre to Moss.
Everybody eats. Let's get it, baby. What's happening, Raider Nation? It's gonna be a long day. Let's go. Come on, CJ. I told you. No MVP.
Young takes the snap. Delay handoff. Here comes CJ up the middle. He's got the 30, 40, midfield, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5, end zone.
You know, that's almost caught you on the one. No, he didn't. Everybody eat, baby. Everybody eat, all right? Everybody eat.
I like the scoring, but not so fast.
Not so fast?
Slow down. It gets like 10 plays, 12 plays.
You're trying to average 30, 40.
Give Johnson, comes back to the left and walks into the end zone. Touchdown, Titans!
That's it, baby.
Oh, you go, bro. You a beast, bro. Keep it up, bro.
Leave that, baby.
Fame, bro.
Let's get money, baby.
Primetime rolls on with what turned out to be the end of the second run for Randy Moss in Minnesota. All the pressure building before the start. Make it 292 straight in the regular season. There's Randy Moss. Perhaps Mr. Croft will see him again. First quarter, there is no score. Favre to Bernard Berry and squirms his way in a crossing route for 9 yards. First down, Vikings. Second and goal from the 1. Adrian Peterson. It's called a touchdown. Bill Belichick challenges the play. That flag came from his sock. Take another look.
Nice hit by Mayo there,
Nice
but
hit.
it looked like he crossed it.
Well, touchdown stands, 7-0 Minnesota. All right, Patriots defense then started making plays. Second quarter, it is now tied at 7. Vikings go for it, and Peterson, again, the preferred choice, but not today. Teddy, the entire defense of New England stands up.
Yeah, Ron Brace, Rob Ninkovich right there. Goal line defense, hands in the pad, push them back, stop Adrian Peterson's momentum, and let all your boys come and rally to the ball. Nice play.
Holla at your boys. Turnover on downs, tied at 7 at the break. Randy Moss really wasn't a factor in this game, Teddy, and what turned out to be a swan song.
Well, look how they defend him. There's about 4 eyeballs on him on every single pass play.
You know, 1 catch for 8 yards in a game where clearly you thought and he was hoping he would be a big part of the game plan here.
Absolutely, but it's easy to take Randy Moss out. If you put a couple people on him, you change the direction of the offense.
And one of the reasons they thought they could get by without Randy Moss was the explosiveness of Brandon Tate. Although this is just Tom Brady being nimble, somehow finds a way to stay alive for a 65-yard touchdown to the previously mentioned Brandon Tate.
Yeah, but the young receivers got to know what his nimble-footed big quarterback wants. He scrambles, he looks to his right, he looks to his left. He's staying alive here. Tate's got to know, where does he want me to be? Go deep in a scramble situation. That's a quarterback and a young receiver getting on the same page.
I can't believe you just called Tom Brady nimble-footed.
Well, these things happen. 14-10 Patriots. Now Brett Favre fires incomplete to the end zone, but as you can see, Brett down on the field, and Myron Pryor, boy, with a textbook hit right there, got him right on the chin, though.
Tremendous shot. Legal hit. Starts in the pad. Any upward blow is going to contact the chin as well. Tough break for Brett Favre. That one hurts.
Bunch of stitches. Tavares Jackson warming up. He had to come in. Favre had to come out. So now it's a first play for Jackson on a 1st and goal as they work on Favre on the sidelines, and it looked awful. And, of course, he's going to throw to Nafahu Tahi for a touchdown, and then they go for the 2-point conversion, and it's Percy Harvin who comes in with the catch, 21-18. It's a 3-point game. Favre had to have 10 stitches on the chin. Next Patriots possession. Boy, this was a huge play. Danny Woodhead, the smallest guy in the field, on a huge 3rd down conversion.
Yeah, backbreaker right here, right when Minnesota thinks they got a possibility of stopping them on downs and getting the ball back. Conversion, Woodhead.
And then, of course, the law firm of Ben Jarvis Green Ellis will take care of all your touchdown needs. That sealed it. The Patriots beat the Vikings 28-18. So a huge win in what was the goodbye performance for Randy Moss in Minnesota for the New England Patriots. Guys, let's just say this right now. The Patriots, as the NFL is currently constructed, have the best record in football. What does this win say about New England?
Well, I think they're the antithesis of the NFL right now. I mean, this is a league right now that's kind of built on bravado and glamour and fantasy numbers and players and coaches getting in their press conferences trying to explain a lot to you. What the New England Patriots do, they show up with their lunchbox every single day. They have a singular mindset of getting better each day, each play, each game. They're always just trying to do their job. And then they tell you this thing I love the best about it. And you were part of the Patriot. They don't try to explain it, good or bad. They just show up, do their job, and then their post-game press conference say, hey, yeah, today we did things well, today we didn't. There's no explanation. They don't need to justify it to anybody. They know their way is the best way.
Yeah, it's nice to watch this team develop because the one thing they needed for success this year was the development of younger players. And going through that highlight, a lot of you are probably saying, who? Who? And that's right. I mean, Ron Brace making a play on the goal line, standing up Phil Lodeholt. Myron Pryor beating Steve Hutchinson, an all-pro offensive guard, to get the hit on Favre and knock him out of the game. And then Brandon Tate, known for special teams play, all of a sudden is becoming a viable receiver, knowing what his quarterback wants, going deep in a scramble situation. This is how the NFL is going to be right here, fellas, this year. A lot of good teams with a lot of good talent, and they're going to be close games. They're going to be won in the 4th quarter. Yep. And how do you win them in the 4th quarter? When you got players that execute. And for them to execute, you need good coaching, and that's what this team has.
Certainly what you're seeing right now from the New England Patriots. And we've been down this road a few times before, as you well know. As for the Vikings, one thing they've got to do is they've got to fix that run defense, along with a myriad of other problems. Yep. They were #1 in the league from 06 to 08, second best last year, currently 13th in 2010. Teams are taking it right up the gut of the Vikings defense, and as we've seen, that's a sizable gut.
Maybe cutting Moss will help the run defense.
Sure it will. When we continue, it was a scary night in New Orleans, but much scarier for the Steelers than the Saints when it was all said and done. And when the game started, did anyone think the Packers would be the stronger unit at the Meadowlands as they took on the Jets in defense?
Hi, this is Mike Singletary, head coach of the San Francisco 49ers, inviting you to come out and watch the Niners and Broncos on ESPN America.
I'm Steve Weissman. Coming up tonight on SportsCenter on ESPN America, Game 4 of the World Series in Texas, where Madison Bumgarner started for the Giants against the Rangers' Tommy Hunter. Plus, highlights from Week 8 of the NFL. Find out what Randy Moss won't be doing for the remainder of the season. And Miami's Big Three were in New Jersey to face the Nets. All this and much more tonight on SportsCenter on ESPN America.
America's college football teams embark on a quest.
Nice move, and he will score.
To conquer the grueling season in pursuit of one common goal, a national championship.
It's outside on the right. 3, 2, 1, touchdown.
The drama unfolds each week as the top teams and biggest rivals battle on ESPN.
Breaks tackles down the sideline. He's going to score.
College football lives here.
on, man. Run that thing now a little bit.
Give to Ray Rice. Big hole across the 20, 25, 30.
Give it to Turner. Tries to turn the corner.
Got to turn the corner and does. Harrison runs again. Steps for a tackle. 35, and he's gone.
And here's Turner countering on a nice move. 45-40.
Big hole.
He might go.
Jamal Charles attacks 40-yard line.
Breaks to the 5. Stays on his feet.
Bradshaw runs out of a tackle.
Dives for the pylon.
Lunges forward and a Florida leap into the end zone for the touchdown.
He got a man out there and it's caught by Lewis Murphy. Touchdown, Raiders!
Rolls on with the Steelers and the Saints. Halloween Eve in New Orleans. Over 17,000 showed up in costumes. It was a Guinness Book of World Records. Most people know that's just Wednesday in New Orleans. 36 seconds left in the half. Saints down 3. DeMarcus Colston, Drew Brees for a gain of 20.
Hey, this definition of dime. Look how soon he throws that. That's impossible to defend. The ball's out of his hand. Colston's not even breaking yet. Impossible. There's no defense straight for.
A perfect throw.
That was one.
Yeah, he wasn't open until the ball was there. They would kick a field goal to tie it. Fourth quarter, Saints up 6-3. Colston again. Unbelievable 16-yard stretch for the score. Saints up 13-3. Now it's a 3rd and 5. Brees looking for Robert Meacham. How does he get that wide open against, of all things, the Pittsburgh Steelers defense? Knocked out at the 27. Later on this drive, it is 1st and goal from the 8. You want to talk about another tight window? Come on, Trent. Come on.
And this is why it's the primetime dime. Comes off the play fake. Look at that. Look at it go over Timmons' hands. Right in between two safeties. That's as good as it gets.
Saints would lead at 20-10. The Saints defense really doing the job here, Teddy. 3rd and 4. Ben Roethlisberger looking for Antoine Randall L, but he comes up short, even though it was initially ruled a touchdown.
Yeah, called a touchdown right here, but Sean Payton challenges it. 1-inch line. Why do you challenge it? This is why, right here, goal line defense.
Make them earn it. So it's a 1st and goal instead. Isaac Redmond stuffed for a loss. Then on 2nd down, Rashard Mendenhall. Why do the Steelers always have these goal line situations like the week before with the Dolphins? And now Mendenhall again. So because of that challenge and a great stand by New Orleans, it's a field goal instead of 7 points. Later, 1st and 10 from the Saints 23. Roethlisberger to Hines Ward, but he is crushed by Lee Torrance as he tries to make the grab. And Ward is called for pass interference.
And I think it was the right call. You see it right at the very end. Ward pushes off, and Lee Torrance makes a completely clean hit.
Nice hit under the shoulder blade right there.
Steelers would end the drive with a missed field goal. Then Roethlisberger looking for Emmanuel Sanders. That falls incomplete. A nice job by Malcolm Jenkins, Teddy.
You see a nice play right there, but why 2 receivers in the same area right there? Jenkins still. Nice play.
And then this is when things go your way. This is a huge play by Heath Miller. He's going to get a conversion, keep the drive alive, but sometimes the ball just finds certain players, and Darren Sharper's one of those guys.
Opportunistic defense. I mean, Darren Sharper. Johnny on the spot right there. You got to take care of that ball. Miller comes out. They're always going for this ball. The Saints defense. Nice play.
That's exactly what happened last year as the Saints win a big one, 20-10. And the Fidelity turning point of this game, when you look about it, we always talk about the offense when we're looking at the New Orleans Saints, Teddy, but how about the defense in the Bayou? 5 straight games now, they've held the opposition to under 300 yards on offense, and that goal line stand a big part of it.
Yeah, the goal line stand was a big part of it because right there you have 1 inch to go, and you have your head coach making a challenge saying, I believe in you guys. Although it's on the 1-inch yard line, still, we're going to make a play to give our team a chance to win. Here it is right here. Penetration by the defensive line. This is what you need in the goal line situation. Cedric Ellis right there, Will Smith, shooting the gaps, stopping the momentum of the running back, making him restart. When a running back has to restart on the goal line, it's almost impossible because all your defenders are coming in. And then here you are, Wilma Vilma and Harper, sometimes you need to chop some kneecaps down. That's what you do in the goal line situation. And then once again, here you are on the edge. Here it comes. You got to scrape Vilma and make this play. But what you've got to do is take on blocks and chop men down. There's the chop right there on Trey Essex, and all your boys right there are coming to make the play because you stopped his forward momentum. Charleston right there fired up that he made the play, but that right there kept 4 points off the board, and that's a big reason why the New Orleans Saints won that game.
And your tape shows incredible effort and will and players doing phenomenal stuff on the football field, but that doesn't work alone. It also takes a great plan to beat a team like the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I thought the New Orleans Saints coaching staff and players had a great plan going into this. On defense, I thought they did a great job forcing Ben Roethlisberger to major in something he hasn't practiced a lot. Those are those intuitive throws to his receivers, where his receiver and him have to be on the same page. We call them hot reads, side adjustments. They force him to do that in passing situations. And Trey, on the offensive side of the ball, I thought Drew Brees was a genius in how he approached going after the Pittsburgh Steelers secondary. Quick throws early, right? Get them standing up in the pass rush, then strike, and then go back to the quick throws early in the second half, the completion game, a lot like the Super Bowl last year.
And clearly a different offense against the Steelers defense in the second half, 17 second half points. And all the problems the Saints have had. They have Carolina, then they got a bye week, then they have Seattle, then they have the Cowboys. Look out now. This is that New Orleans team. This is the part of their schedule where they could make some hay and get on a major run. As for the Green Bay Packers, well, the Green Bay Packers had an emotional win the previous week, Sunday night against the Vikings, and they had to travel to take on Rex and his Rexecutioners and all the fans of the Rex Ryan look, I guess, in New York, coming off a bye. Do you ever go for a fake punt on 4th and 18 in your own half of the field?
Yeah, that's a long way to go for a punter. I'm not sure about this call, but a great play right here. Steps left foot out of bounds. He ends up diving past the first down marker, but it's too late. Replay. Turnover.
Yeah, they originally ruled a first down, but eventually it was the right call and actually led to Green Bay's first points of the game. The Jets offense, well, this was a step back from last year and earlier, maybe week 1, when they had all kinds of problems.
Yeah, and Mark Sanchez is going to take a lot of heat. People saying he should see Braylon Edwards here. It's a bootleg to the left. He still gets should be a completion. Mark Sanchez was not the culprit yesterday. He was victimized by some bad receiver play.
Bad receiver play and perhaps not trying hard enough for the ball. Tremont Williams here to Jericho Cotchery, and Tremont Williams just out-muscles him for the ball.
Out-competes him. I mean, this is a competitive sport. You play to the ground, fight for the ball. The Jets didn't do that. The Packers did.
They would challenge that it was an interception. The Jets would, and they lost that. Okay, we're going to see this again. Sanchez, this time to Santonio Holmes, drops it.
And that's going to be a touchdown. There is no, look at that. You can see it from that right there. That's a good throw. It's a crossing route. He's got to make that play.
That being said, it was one of those windy days at the Meadowlands, and people talked about the old Meadowlands Stadium doing that. It happened again today, but the second time, this time it's Charles Woodson out-competing Dustin Keller for the ball, Teddy.
You got to play the play throughout. I mean, you're coming off a bye, you get 6 days off, and you're thinking you're down. Don't assume. Play the play till it's finished.
So again, Rex Ryan had no challenges, so they couldn't challenge the ruling of the interception there. Sanchez looking for Cotchery. Drop. Later on the drive, it's 4th and 8. Sanchez one more trying to get something going, and this one's knocked away. Look, neither Aaron Rodgers nor Mark Sanchez played very solid, had a lot of completions in this game because of the win. But Sanchez, once again, trying to get something going. That one's knocked loose. The Packers seem like they had more drive.
And this is a great throw. That wind is howling 30. It is hard to spin in those conditions. Big moment of the game. He puts the ball there. Has to be caught.
All right, here we go. Another chance here as it's only 6-0, and Clay Matthews, see you later on Damian Woody, and brings him down. The Jets shut out at home. The Packers win it 9-0. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, stop me if we're repeating this, but Josh Freeman in the fourth quarter is flat money, baby. Just ask the Arizona Cardinals. Meanwhile, are there any answers in Washington for what happened Sunday against the Lions?
Turning Point is brought to you by
Hello, nation.
Anyone?
Super. The nation says.
Are we on the air?
You got to be kidding me.
Sports Nation, only on ESPN America.
When the Auburn Tigers win a big game, the crowd leaves Jordan-Hare Stadium, but they don't go home. Fans rush across campus to the intersection of College and Magnolia, Toomer's Corner.
It's home to Toomer's Drugstore and the 2 oak trees that grow crooked and snarled overhead. After the game ends, Auburn fans snatch toilet paper wherever they can find it. There's an art to what comes next. Peel off a good 10-foot tail and then fling it, going for an arc not dissimilar to the trajectory of Wes Byram's winning field goal against Florida in 2007.
How cool is Wes Byram?
Or the Nix to Sanders pass against that other team in '93. The trees get covered, mummified. The morning after, students stumble out to find long strips still hanging from the limbs. They remember the joy of a Saturday in a small southern town and a feeling that will bring them back time and again to the intersection of College and Magnolia.
Phillip Rivers, come on and raise up.
Throw it to him, Philly!
He is airing it out. Got it! Launching. There's caught! Looking end zone. Touchdown! Firing end zone. Caught! Being pressured from behind. He'll run with it. Rivers now is going to keep it. Go up the middle. Touchdown! San Diego!
Welcome back to Primetime. I'm Michelle Tafoya in Indianapolis with this team report. When the Colts and Texans met in the season opener, a lesser-known running back named Arian Foster ran for a Texans record 231 yards and 3 touchdowns against the Colts. Colts defensive coordinator Larry Coyer said, "They out-toughed us. They out-quicked us. It was embarrassing. The harder we tried, the worse it got." Well, tonight, they think they have the answers. Pro Bowl defensive end Dwight Freeney told us the last time they may have been a little overconfident. Tonight, he says it'll come down to everyone staying in their gaps and tackling better. Simple as that. Now back to Primetime.
As we continue here on NFL Primetime, there was drama in Minnesota Monday. There was drama in Detroit on Sunday. The Washington Redskins in town. And, hey, the good news, the Lions have their quarterback situation solved. Matthew Stafford is back. And when all else fails, if you're a quarterback, throw it to Megatron.
And you love having big verticals also compete with the ball and man up and try to get in the zone. Love Calvin Johnson.
Go get them Energon cubes.
Drives in for a 7-yard score, and then it's Johnson for a 7-yard touchdown. The Lions failed on the 2-point conversion. It's 20-19. Okay, under 4 minutes to play. One more time. Lions driving. Where's he going?
Same place I'd go almost every time.
That's exactly right, to Megatron, but he's short of the first down, so after an incompletion, it's 4th and 1. We're going for it. Hey, where's he going?
Who's getting it?
Going?
And I love that you use a little double move. Move at the sticks, get him vertical, get the DBs back to him, then drop the dime in there.
Third of the day, 28-25 Lions after a 2-point conversion. Okay, so we thought we had the quarterback issues in Washington settled, in April. There's a boy named Sue. And Ndamukong Suh comes right up the middle, sack. Did I say Ndamukong Suh? Let's do it again.
Oh, the left hook.
Oh, he had 2 in the game. Brush it off, big fella. 6.5 on the season. Under 5 minutes to go, it's a play fake. Donovan, and he faked out everybody, including the coaching staff. Picked off by Alfonso Smith. Where was this throw?
This is an egregious mistake by a veteran quarterback with the lead 5 points with 4:20 left in the game. You can't force the ball, especially into 3 defenders.
Yeah, okay, so now it's a 4th and 10 situation. McNabb back to pass, and he's sacked by Cliff Averill. Turnover on downs led to a Lions field goal. And here's where it got real interesting. This is still a 1-score game. In comes Rex Grossman.
Who?
Rex, sexy Rexy. Because Mike Shanahan said he felt more comfortable running the 2-minute offense. In comes Rex, bye-bye ball game, sack, and here comes Ndamukong Suh. Santana Moss is far too small to take that ball away from that very large man. Suh celebrates in the end zone. What pressure?
Vanden Bosch all year long. This guy plays harder than anybody in defensive football. I'm telling you right now.
Lions win it 37-25 with Donovan on the bench when it was said and done. After the game, Mike Shanahan said, we felt more comfortable with Rex Grossman running the 2-minute offense. Is that more of an indictment of Donovan McNabb or, in your opinion, Mike Shanahan, because that was a winnable game?
Yeah, I think this is more of an indictment on Donovan McNabb. And I think the thing people are having a hard time wrapping their brain around is, okay, you're going to Rex Grossman instead of Donovan McNabb. And I understand the way Coach Shanahan explained it probably wasn't the best way. But there's a bigger issue going on here. Ever since this marriage started in April between McNabb and the Redskins, it hasn't fit quite as well as they would hope. McNabb has refused to work on some technique stuff that the staff has identified as necessary for him to improve. And then the Washington Redskins, especially Mike Shanahan, Teddy, understand quarterbacks are defined by how they play in critical moments. Red zone, third down, but most importantly, at the end of halves and end of games. Donovan McNabb in 2-minute situations, 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and then in a games close to 7 points, you're talking a fourth quarter game within 7 points. Look at that, under 50% passing, 0 for 3 in terms of touchdowns to interceptions. He just has played poorly, and the perception is that he's going to play good because he's had a great statistical career. The Redskins see differently. The reality is he's not playing very well.
Yeah, you've got a head coach and an offensive coordinator that want their quarterback to improve, and when he refuses, the head coach has to send a message, and I believe that's what Mike Shanahan is doing. This is Mike Shanahan's first year with the Washington Redskins, and right now what he's doing above all else is telling everybody, organization, players, kitchen staff, this is his team, and if you don't want to do it his way, there's going to be a problem, and he's going to win. Albert Hainsworth, D'Angelo Hall, now it's Donovan McNabb. The Mike Shanahan way is the way it's going to be done here. And I know they lost the game because Rex Grossman came in there. And yes, that hurts when you lose a game. But long term, first-year head coaches want to send their message that it's my way or the highway.
Well, that's hard for people to understand is that, yes, they're trying to win this year, but really he's building
a foundation.
Yes, he is.
Well, the message sending continued on Monday. Sunday, of course, he said Rex was better with the 2-minute drill. This is what Mike Shanahan had to say Monday about Donovan McNabb. Because he's been dealing with a hamstring issue, we didn't feel he had the cardiovascular endurance to do what was necessary during the 2-minute drill. Doesn't that sound exactly like what Terrell Owens said about Donovan McNabb in a Super Bowl that you guys won against them, Super Bowl 39?
You know what? It's similar, but, I'm going with McNabb. He's been there since April. I think he's the quarterback that this relationship has to be fixed, all right? I think for the Washington Redskins to have success, the Shanahan-McNabb relationship has to go well. The quarterback-head coach relationship is very important for success. I think this has got to be fixed because there's problems right now.
Well, there's a bye week. I'm sure they'll talk about it a little bit during the bye week, especially the words cardiovascular endurance. And oh, by the way, after the bye, Redskins, Eagles.
I knew that.
Right here on ESPN's Monday Night Football. How about the best team in the NFC? Yeah, I said it. Maybe it's just indeed, as Raheem Morris said, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Arizona Cardinals. What would Radio Raheem's company do in this game? Well, this game went back and forth. Max Hall certainly helped out the Bucs' cause. Geno Hayes, that's a pick 6 for me, thanks. 40 to go. And just like that, it's tied up at 7. Later in the second, Cardinals 1st and 10 at their 40. I'll take Aqib Talib for 3. And there goes Aqib Talib. It's another pick 6 by Max Hall, and the Bucs now take a 21-14 lead, and that would be the end of the Max Hall portion of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Derek Anderson comes in. It is now 31-28. It was 31-14. They got a couple of quick scores, and then Derek Anderson to Larry Fitzgerald. That's their first touchdown pass in the month of October, Trent.
Yeah, as I always say, it's not what you're looking for.
Hey!
Okay, so now the Cardinals are up by 4, but down in the fourth quarter. That's just what Josh Freeman's looking for. What a throw to the rookie, Aurelius Ben, who makes the catch to set him up.
This guy's unbelievable. Great throw. And look at the play by Aurelius Ben, locating the ball, looking it in. Should have scored, though.
That is what you're looking for there, by the way. I've heard you say that many times.
Yes.
Petty. Bucs would score on the next play to lead 38-35. Okay, 2:15 left, last chance, and Derek Anderson, you did not just do that. Aqib Talib again.
You're in field goal range right here. The defender has position. You have one on the outside and on the inside. You're throwing the ball. Yes, maybe a little bit of a tug, but this is fourth quarter football. Officials called it a little bit looser. 3 points, protected 3 points in overtime.
The Cardinals' quarterback situation has been an abject disaster since Kurt Warner retired. How about LeGarrette Blount coming up with the big hurdle and almost sealed this one all the way to the end zone?
I see you, young man. Get up over that now.
120 yards, 2 touchdowns on the day. The Bucs win it again. Josh Freeman, his 6th fourth quarter comeback in his 8 wins. Speaking of coming back, ladies and gentlemen, there is a Raider resurgence brewing. For the 2nd straight week, the silver and black offensive attack was awesome. The same cannot be said for any portion of the Dallas Cowboys team effort Sunday in Jacksonville. The sound from Central Texas.
NFL is on ESPN America. Every Sunday, Chris Berman and the gang get you primed for all the matchups on the 25th season of Sunday NFL Countdown. Then, catch a triple header of the best games from across the league. And when the weekend's over, the action is far from it. Monday Night Countdown gets you pumped for Monday Night Football Live. So if you're looking for NFL action, look no further. We've got it all, including the playoffs, the Pro Bowl, and the Super Bowl. Football's best go head-to-head all season long, live on ESPN America, home of the NFL.
I hustle, because true passion is earned one practice at a time. I respect those who say without discipline there is no glory. I push to be at the top of my class, not just the top of my game. I play to make the last pass, not just the final shot. I challenge those who say it's about me and not about we. I win when we all do. I connect at iHoops, the official youth basketball initiative of the NCAA and the NBA. Connect at ihoops.com.
Knock Holmes out.
Is taking a pound.
People involved in this fight should have been arrested.
Oh, he's ready to go.
But he wouldn't go down because he's Ali.
This must be stopped. It is a sad way to end.
Que es el criminal más rico del mundo. Su fortuna conseguida a base de exportar toneladas de cocaína a Europa y Estados Unidos se estima en más de $3,000 millones.
Colombia received a death threat at the team's hotel in Fullerton, California.
Sport can create hope where once there was only despair.
David, we didn't have 60,000 South Africans. We had 43 million South Africans.
Sport has the power to change the world.
ESPN Films presents a brilliant series of sports documentaries, 30 for 30, every month on ESPN Classic.
Rolls on with a game in Kansas City. The Buffalo Bills trying to get off the schneid, taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. Buffalo came so close last week. Todd Haley, remember, going against Chan Gailey, whom he fired as his offensive coordinator before the start of last season. Fourth quarter, Bills leading 10-3. Oh, it's a fumble. This game's over. Mike Vrabel has found the ball again, except Teddy, you got to teach Vrabel. Okay?
Yeah,
your elbow can't be on the sideline
here. You got awareness, Braves, awareness. The sideline's right there. Get your elbow in.
For a guy that has that many touchdown catches as a linebacker, inexcusable. So the Bills have a second life, and they make them pay. Steve Johnson, fifth consecutive game with a touchdown. We're tied at 10. 35 seconds left. Bills driving. That's a bad pass by Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's thrown many good ones. Intercepted, we're going to overtime. And for a long time, it seemed like we were channeling the 2008 Bengals-Eagles game. Wait, we can tie? In overtime, Fitzpatrick to Evans, 21-yarder. So now that sets up Ryan Lindell, one of the best kickers in football. This one to get the Bills their first win of the year.
Game over!
Yeah!
Game over!
Wait a minute. Oh, that sneaky timeout. Timeout!
I love this, that they can do this. You're messing with the most mentally fragile people on the football field.
But Lindell is still very good. Until he's not.
It worked.
It is short. Todd Haley said that's great coaching by me.
And a great goatee.
Well, that's also true. Later in the overtime, this is always a great look for the Chiefs. Throw it to tight end Tony Moreeeee, a gain of 16. So now they're set up. Ryan Suckup, once Mr. Irrelevant.
Oh.
Still Mr. Irrelevant.
That's me on the golf course right there.
Shankopotamus. Suckup says, I cannot believe that just happened. Oh, it just happened. But the Chiefs get the ball back. Who should he be looking at?
Moreeeee.
That is correct.
Good player and a great name to say.
Moreeeee for a
Spicy
gain of
tuna
10.
Moreeeee.
So now they actually sort of messed with the clock a little bit here. And one more time, they get it to
Moreeeee.
Again, a very good look. So now they get it all set up. And for the second time, vindication, thy name is Suckup. This time he plays the wind, and it goes through. Boy, the Bills have lost back-to-back road games in overtime. Only the 4th time that's happened in NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, time for West Down and Bound, or West Bound and Down.
Either way.
Because either way works. Because we're looking at teams in the Western divisions that have not done well. Tom Cable, however, he's sitting on an offensive juggernaut the last couple of weeks. This is your average, ordinary, run-of-the-mill, everyday double deflection reception. Right to Michael Bush for a 30-yard scamper all the way down to the Seahawks' 30-yard line. Trent, please break this down for us.
Well, actually, I drew up this play for a couple coaches in bye we could execute. You sneak your back out of the backfield, you throw the slant, you make sure you flex it up, but at an angle too, so the next guy can tip it higher, so your back who snuck out of your backfield can catch it and run a long way.
I was totally with you the entire time. By the way,
works.
The ball seems to find some players. Tyvon Branch is becoming one of those guys.
Not just Tyvon Branch, but I think they're starting to bounce in the way of the Oakland Raiders.
Oh.
Here we go.
Ooh.
Here we go.
Well, this is a team that has been down for a while.
Time's coming.
Darius Hayward-Bay, for the longest time, his rookie year had more names than receptions. Not anymore. That one's fit in there nicely. A 69-yard touchdown. It's 23-0. The only downside for the Raiders here. Look what happens to arguably their best player. Nnamdi Asomugha comes up grabbing that ankle. He would not return. You see the right ankle turn right there. But the Raiders, 1 week after setting a franchise record for 59 points, over 540 yards of offense, most since the merger as they win at 33-3. Things are turning for the Raiders. Things are not turning for the Cowboys. You know, in April of this year, they imploded Texas Stadium. In October, they imploded the team. There's Tony Romo, not in this game. So you got to find somebody to step up, perhaps someone on the defense, perhaps. No, that's Marcedes Lewis, one of his 2 touchdowns for the Jags, 14-3 Jaguars. If John Kitna is in there, you really got to work for him, right?
You really do. You got to support your backup quarterback. You can't let the ball go off your hip and bounce up in the air and get picked.
Yeah, Terrence Knighton, by the way, comes up with the interception. Nobody had that before the game started. Well, Miles Austin is very good, except here that goes off his hands and Derek Cox picks it off. So 2 of Kitna's 4 interceptions right off the hands of receivers for the Dallas Cowboys. All right, you want to talk about effort? This is a punt. Mike Thomas the punt. Teddy, did he signal fair catch?
No. Just a straight punt return. What do you got right there? You got how many Dallas Cowboys? 1, 2, 3, 4, not making the tackle. Trent?
Teddy, that's not what we're looking for.
No.
You know, I've heard you say that. And Joe DeCamillis is saying that much saltier language. Nothing is working. If you're looking for a play that sums up the Cowboys season, this is it. On 4th and goal, Kitna and Barber run into each other. Now, give Barber all the credit in the world for still trying, but they can't get out of their own way.
No, and goal line footwork goes unnoticed many times. John Kitna's got to be steeper on his approach back.
Yeah, and this play sums up the Cowboys. Hey, there's Jason Witten. He's wide open. Apparently, he did not know he was a receiver.
Very accurate.
Boy, 35-17. The Cowboys are a 1-win team. When we continue here on NFL Primetime, we'll hand out game balls. There were many, many worthy candidates.
Ate something loaded with fat? Now we got a beef with that. 25 of our Campbell's Chunky Soups give you 100%.
Hi, I'm Chris Mortensen. In my 20th year at ESPN, you can catch me on NFL Monday Countdown, all things ESPN, right here on ESPN America.
Welcome to the show. The ball has to be hit at least 95 meters to get it over the fence. Sometimes that's not enough. You have to run over 27 meters to steal a base, but you can't push your luck. 18 meters separate the mound from home plate. For many, it's longer than they think. In the end, it all measures up to one.
MLB, all season long on ESPN America.
Time for game balls. Players that stood out in Week 8 and really rose to the occasion. Trent Dilfer, who did that?
David Garrard, because it's about time when the Jags win, he gets some credit for it. Usually it's Maurice Jones-Drew. He goes 17 of 21, 4 touchdowns, 260, dominated from the first snap on.
Can't deny.
Quarterbacks, I would tell you, I'm going to the Lions defensive line. 6 sacks, 10 tackles for loss. They beat the Washington Redskins. Vanden Sue, these guys are beasts.
2 sacks for Ndamukong Suh and a touchdown. Oh, by the way, his name means House of Spears, which I love. Here's an email from Randy Moss's agent to the Minneapolis Star-Tribune. Randy is very sad to find out about being waived by the Vikings this morning. He will remain fond of the fans in Minnesota. We will let the process of the waiver wire take its course, and we will move on from there. Is he worth picking up?
Absolutely. Pick him up. He'll create space for you. Your quarterback will play better.
You got a full-grown man at head coach. Handle him.
Only if that happens.
Put him on your team.
How many of those are there in the NFL?
Not many.
There you go. Watching prime time.
ESPN America, your home for the NFL.
Think it's hard to get to know this guy?
Main objective is to